Today, we eat blackberries. Come on, let's go.
Today, today.
Today, we eat blackberries. Come on, let's go. Today, we eat blackberries. Come on, let's go. Today, we eat blackberries. Come on, let's go.
All right, let's make some improvements, man. Um, where do we start? So tonight, I'm not gonna be guided as much by the chat. Tonight, I'm going to do a BTS stream. Now, I am watching the chat, but regardless if we get some influence in the chat, some vibrations, we have work to do. What work do you ask? Well, we got to keep improving the stream. I always talk about a 1% increase every day. I had a lot of thoughts today, trying to bring some things together. So I'm going to keep this stream open. And I did try to do a vertical and a horizontal stream at the same time, but had a little bit of difficulty. So we'll probably wait till next weekend. I'll find a way to test that out. Um, but here we are. So I'm Darnell just talking. If you happen to come in the stream, I'm just a guy. I'm a guy that has positive energy. I veer off into a lot of topics. This is day 19. This is my 19th straight day streaming. Thank you very much. If you see me and you didn't swipe too fast, that is greatly appreciated. There's a poll in the chat. I do like polls. You can interact with the poll. We had an excellent conversation last night about Unk status. That Unk status and OG. There's a lot of people with identity issues out here that just can't claim what it is, including myself. But I do like the conversation, and what came out of that conversation was a lot of Unk versus Auntie, and definitely some vibrations that may make you feel a type of way, as we favor one side versus the other. But like I said, if you're in the chat, thank you. If you're watching the stream, thank you. I'm gonna do some BTS. Unfortunately, it's not being done on this, bigger, wide format screen. The challenge as a small streamer is if I go wide format, then the person you may not reach me. So there's a happy balance. It's a chicken and egg that you gotta play in order to introduce myself to you guys and to have you along on this journey. And that's a lot of what my 19 days have been about so far. We have grown tremendously. We followed, sometimes that 1% goes to 10%. When I say we've grown, I mean just the way that I'm able to come on the mic, have a conversation, read the chat, read a poll, carry a topic. Last night we had our first calling guest. That went awesome, and we definitely will be doing that some more. So, if you have a question about me, who I am, what I do, why I'm here, definitely I'm open to answer it. If you want to troll, I guess tonight's your night. You could troll, you could joke, you could do whatever makes you feel good. If the music is too loud, the bed level music, I don't like keeping it on the whole stream, especially when I'm talking. Because when I play it back, it just looks like I'm trying to hypnotize people. So definitely not trying to hypnotize you. So let's just get started. So I didn't have a definitive plan, but I did want to observe. I recorded something earlier. A phone call turned into something. Oh, look at this. I just have funny stuff that I keep on. I think I was working on a concept that the clear as day of what it says, wake your ass up. Working on like a morning show where I would get in every morning and do like a 5 to 10 minute spiel of wake your ass up, sort of like playing off of what is that? Um, School Days by Spike Lee. There's the end of the movie where Lawrence Fishburne has like a famous scene where he's calling people on both sides to just wake up. So wake your ass up. Sometimes you gotta be a little forceful. I got some coach in me, so um, yeah, I'm kind of browsing around, seeing what's the next step. I am not fully confident in where the stream is, but I do like it. I like where things are. Um, I like, in particular, if I had to point out, I'm looking at the camera and trying to point to, in particular, I like how um, my this call to my channel name went from being super big to like it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller because I'm learning how not to overdo it. I'm not really selling anything. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I don't even know if I'm trying to sell you on me. I'm giving you the opportunity to acclimate to some of the things that I might say or talk about. I'm not like always like a pop culture, this crash out conversation, but I do like to have fun, and I'm sure there will be moments where sometimes that looks a little blended, but so yeah, so I like that I'm putting topics on the side because my hope is that when people come into the stream, you know one, I don't expect them to look at me and say, oh, I have to stay here because he's a light-skinned black guy, and we have to hear what he's saying. I don't expect any of that. I subtly watch the numbers like of concurrent views. The main thing for me, I'm gonna play the algorithm at this point. The main thing for the algorithm is engagement. The main thing for me on the stream is engagement. I need a metric. I need something to go on that tells me that people are vibing or not vibing. The swipe away, I really don't think that you've stated your claim on whether or not what I'm doing works or not. So that I do find that pretty interesting. That I wish I could call you out and be like, tell me what it was. Tell me what it was that I didn't do. And I could slowly digest that and have a comeback to that. And I really feel like because the way that I'm able to react from a technology standpoint, really what this stream could be about, this BTS means behind the scenes. When you have a stream like that, I'm showing you that we can grow. If you have questions about the tools that I'm using, maybe you want to use some of these tools and you can grow. If you desire to have, a channel or you aspire to be a creator, content creator. So let's get into it. So, yeah, so my topics, I'm gonna just point to. I don't have any special thing to highlight them. So I like how I'm starting to highlight and get energy, at least in my point of view. I'm getting energy behind when somebody comes in and they swipe in this vertical format, that they're seeing something. And I think one day these words are gonna be able to draw people in or make people stop, right? I'm not trying to have clickbait with it. I actually believe that when I work on the stream, these topics are what I'm here to talk about. And sometimes the stream organically shifts, which is fine, and which is what I actually wanted out of the stream. Because once I get the engagement, then I continue to engage, and there's like a back and forth of that engagement. So, sorry, I just had a little visitor. So yeah, so let's just start. So Sabado, I'm not Spanish, Latin. But I thought it was funny. I've been putting like the day of the week, so like that's why I put that. And then like BTS, so you come in, you kind of get it. This is not gonna be a one-time thing. This is not my first BTS stream where I'm already in it. Like I'm talking about, my thought process and what I'm thinking. And I've been bouncing around the idea of having I guess what I call Creators Anonymous, which is like a play on Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous, to have a group where small group, small setting where people come in and they're able to just talk about what they're going through, what they're seeing, and share that with others. Not necessarily their drug or drink of choice, but there are definitely some metrics that I'm looking at that I think matter to grow the stream. So every day I'm kind of just locking in on what those are. And I don't take it super serious, but you have to have something to go on, right? Because these platforms, when I say these platforms, I mean the platforms that are housing content creators, they are kind of one and the same at this point. They're fed on engagement metrics, and that engagement is a telltale sign of the culture. It could be a telltale sign of something that people in the light don't want to see or don't want to be a part of. Like if we were to check everyone's browser history, we would understand, who's who, how you think all the time. But we know when you go to work, we know that you're a very different person and you have a very clean browser history. So these platforms, they kind of double down on the engagement, and then by the time when we want to come on the platform and we come in peace and we come, to everybody comes for their own reason, but I could say everyone would accept the monetization that comes along with putting yourself out there, because this in this era, that's kind of what this is, right? So even myself, I have my own reasons for why monetization would work over time, but essentially I can't say that I'm void. I don't think of that because that's where you are. If that was the case, then I would just take my website, post videos on my website, and call it a day, right? So just working through this behind the scenes thing is kind of if I were to move forward with this like creators anonymous. And it's not, the interesting part is when I finally came back to YouTube and started this journey, I was so caught up on the idea that I wasn't sure if coming back to YouTube and finding myself through this type of expression, I wasn't sure that YouTube, that I wasn't gonna do the exact thing that I talk against, right? Like that hypocritical thought. And I have spoken about it on the stream, so sorry if you have seen the stream before and I keep hitting this point, but I feel like there's a battle, and since there's so much negative content, there's so many suppressed voices that I almost feel like I have to come on here to battle, to get in the ring and be more positive about things, and turn that negative into a positive, because the viewers are being like psychologically trapped. I was actually, the conversation I had today, I could show you a little snippet of the conversation. I haven't like rewatched it or anything, but I was having a conversation with a close friend, Biggs. That's what's on the Biggs is back. Um, Biggs is a friend of mine, very close friend of mine. I've known him, I mean, I'm early 40s. I've known him for almost 40 years. So, I grew up on 188th. He grew up on 187th. So this guy has been around. We went to some of the same schools, and just been around my life for a long time. Expressed to now, I have my family, Biggs has his family. So we've been able to connect as grown men, sort of like reconnecting. But what I bring to the table as a husband, we share. As a father, we share those topics as well. So we definitely have a colorful conversation. And now there are some health issues that we've been struggling with, talking through on his side for years, which has caused it has caused, I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it has caused um some pushback, some passiveness on some of the things that he wants to accomplish, because he also in his own right is a content creator. He actually was creating content well before me established the channel, but I think somewhere along the line lost his way, or didn't have that voice or team or support to like say, nah, you got to do this. And that's what's hard, right? Like, not everyone is going to, sorry, I got to take this music down, but not everyone is going to take it like me and say, there's a lot that I got to ignore, like that I can't necessarily care about who's going to show up. And it becomes less about like you, sorry to say, it becomes less about you and more about me, right? So I don't even know how I got to that, but basically, I'm really proud of, and this was like a last minute decision. So that's what Biggs is back, and then energy equals currency. It's kind of connected to Biggs as well. I think I've had a repeat conversation with close people to me, and I've been trying to articulate the fact that because I have put myself out there, there's an energy amongst a critical mass of people who I've had conversations with over the years about putting yourself out there. I'm not the only one that I know that kind of wanted to do this, or, cross over that threshold. But like we were speaking last night, as getting into that unk territory, or just a generation that I grew up with, where this wasn't a thing, and we probably would approach this slightly different, if it were, my generation doing this. So I have to come in with a lot of courage, knowing that the things that I say, how I speak, my presentation, that the internet, in a sense, social media, YouTube, where we are, is is pretty much here to make me not want to be here because that is what is on here. We're all, we're all on both sides. So creators also obviously watch YouTube content. You don't got to go that far, but to go into the comments to see how things could get. Most of the creators that I've been following for years, I've been studying how even the people who are positive, they go through stuff where um, you don't know how they're gonna receive some negativity or some conflict with another creator. Like it's its own, entity when it comes to, they say like the YouTube streets, but it's a real thing because as a small creator, as someone who's not from this generation where it's natural to get on camera, expose yourself, you come into my house. Um, I have a lot to, I somewhat feel like I have a lot to lose, and I have kind of curved that thought. But just going back to whole like the energy is currency thing, the energy that it takes for me to do this, I'm giving that energy out and I have felt energy come back to me, but it doesn't come back directly. So there's definitely a private critical mass of people who have followed up with me in certain ways that has allowed me to understand that some of the things that I'm doing people have feelings about. And it's not negative because I feel like if it were negative, it'd be easy to say. I think when it's positive, people are more patient with what they say and they may not actually fully articulate the obvious, right? Like, we're proud of you for doing that because we wish we could do it. We wish we had the courage. We wish that we didn't worry about, how people were going to, take our presence or our voice or the way we talk, our mannerisms, etc. Um, but yeah, so I'm sorry, I gotta get a little long-winded sometimes. Um, but yeah, let me just check. I haven't gotten any. Uh, no one has taken the poll yet, and I mean, if what I'm looking at is what I'm supposed to be looking at, let me just make sure because I was struggling to get the stream up because I was trying to do too much, if you ask me. So let me just make sure that what I'm looking at, see, I knew something was off. I knew something was off. It says so yeah, yeah, something was off. Cause I'm not seeing the chat. I'm seeing a whole different chat. So my chat must be synced to something else. Let me just close this. I'm sorry. I'll answer your messages in the chat, and if I can't figure it out, I'll just go directly to YouTube and look at the chat. Okay. Oh, okay. So, okay, so I got this stream going on over here. That chat was correlating to the old stream. I am so sorry for that, guys. Let me just pop out the chat from here. And then I think we back. Okay, so I've popped out the chat. If that means nothing to you, don't worry. I popped out the chat and let me just use this window so that I can see the chat as well. Okay, almost there. Okay, okay. All right. Okay, so I can see the chat. YVYG Good says name a car for an edit. I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. Name a car for an edit. Okay. If you could explain that better, I'm willing to do it. But let me just put my poll up that I had. This one more second. Yeah, feel free to type in the chat. I'm on now. Sorry about that. trying to find the window that I had my chat notes. Okay, this is not the right chat, but this chat actually tells me what I was writing. Okay, so this was my poll. We going real BTS. We going BTS with the failure tonight. Like I said, if you're in the chat and you're hanging on, I expected this to be a raw stream. I don't see many people do this, but this is my style. I like working in real time. I like getting comfortable with this to the point where I into that mastery phase. The things that I can't control a gang of people showing up, and I don't worry about that. So I do have a poll up if people would like to take the poll, and I'm gonna start figuring out on this side. Let me just get my pinned comment and put that on this chat. I have been learning not to try too much while you're already on live, like the untested stuff. Yeah, that's a big lesson for me. Okay, so we're here now. Let me just minimize so I can get my window. All right, so the one viewer that is here, if you are still here, um, if you could possibly just put something in the chat. If you want, I'd even delete the message or just take the poll. That will help me to know that you are here, and I will start doing some of this BTS stuff. Um, and we could kind of move forward from there. Okay, I feel like so I got things figured out. We are gonna start. I'm gonna start doing. I gotta do something, right? I've been talking now for some time, maybe 28 minutes, maybe not. I don't know. That's what the thing says, but so I do want to go. I can go over this real quick, just from a behind the scenes perspective. I'm struggling to organize like folders and as I keep getting more and more and more content. But I really like. You could close that. Thank you. I really like what I'm doing with these thumbnails. I'm using, I'm taking advantage of a free resource, Creative Commons images. I gotta do a better job though of giving attribution because I do think that I need to really link what I'm doing to these back to these people's pages because they did an awesome job by the photography that goes into a lot of these images because how would I create all of these different scenes if it weren't for them? But I really like the way that I'm developing with this type of forum, and it's in the preparation though it does take time for me to get into a stream, like just to prepare for the stream. I do think that it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Um, So yeah, I'm just showing you some of the images. Maybe I can just do it this way. Yeah. So I throw up one beforehand and then I usually turn it into this the one from last night. So it reads live stream February 20th, 26, day 18. Am I officially Unk? Goat debates and streamer talk. And that was pretty accurate to what, we ended up doing. This is what we thought we were gonna do, and it's pretty accurate. And then I kind of follow up, which is I think it's a good thing. I kind of follow up with how the stream went. You had your original topics, then the stream did what it was going to do, and now this is kind of what was spoken about. But like I said, we had a caller, um, called a friend of mine that I've been trying to get on the stream for a long time. Not the stream, but just in general, I want to do content with this friend. This one was pretty fire. The stream um, was not fire. The stream was not fire, but this whole concept is fire. So we're gonna get this one going on Thursday. We're gonna do some game night, some nostalgic throwbacks. I actually want to get into some board games. It's a way to get my family into it. We like to play not a lot of board games, but I think for me, setting up the card, like if you're playing a card game, setting up the appropriate camera, or if you're just gonna do like just play some B-roll of what it was like. Um, I just want to get that right. Like I don't want to overdo it, underdo it. Um, but I really like, I don't see a need when it comes to what I'm doing here, and I didn't think really hard about this. Um, I I think one day, if you could tell, this folder houses all of them. This right here, I'm using GIMP. GIMP is a cross-platform image editing tool. I've been using GIMP for a while. I mean, obviously, I come from using Photoshop and other tools like that. I've used for a long time. I want to say I've used, is it 2026? I've used a lot of those tools, Photoshop, for over 20 years now. That's a legit wow. Wow. So if you're under 20 years old, I've been using Photoshop longer than you've been alive. So that's Unk status. I keep trying to run from Unk status, but yeah. So I come in here and I'm able to just put this in, plug. I didn't automate anything. I just plugged this in real quick and I just like kind of drag an image in so like you can see the previous image and the previous image. So that's been working for me. I don't know yet if we've reached a point where that is viable, if it's doing the job that it needs to do. I remember, years ago, there was so much about the thumbnail, and I'm pretty sure the thumbnail still matters because you see the trends of how the thumbnails are, and a lot, like even thinking of that, I should change the way I'm doing this instead of having on this. I shouldn't have like this this shadow in the back. I see more of like not shadows but outlines in a certain way that kind of make the font more punchy. But I don't think, again, we could use all these tricks, and yes, you do have to find a way to create a funnel to bring things in. Make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Hey, if you just joined the stream, I'm just doing a behind the scenes stream on, some things that I've been working on and just going through thinking about it. If you want to take the poll, feel free. I really appreciate it. So somebody did take the poll. I'm outside. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Somebody did take the poll and it says I'm outside. But if you want, throw in the chat. I'm a very interactive streamer. In fact, I appreciate the engagement. I guess I'm the pseudo algorithm. The algorithm is thirsty for engagement. So maybe within my stream, I could take the place of that. And when the engagement occurs, we could go back and forth. And it has worked to have a great conversation. Today is day 19. This is my 19th straight day of streaming. I've come on here anywhere between an hour and 2 hours nightly. I usually get on later during the weekdays. On the weekend, I've noticed different variants of traffic, even from just the stuff that I watch. I kind of just observe how that stuff is, who's out there. Is it the same type of audience? Maybe my audience, maybe not. But yeah, I'm just looking, snooping around. But yeah, so I like what I'm doing here, so I'll keep doing it. I was just explaining that I come in here. I have not been searching for fonts deeply. These are kind of just like my go-tos, Arial, Black. Um, I think I can have a look around on, maybe one day look on YouTube enough to see what other people are doing, um, and to see if I feel like it's something I need to change. You know, it is a funnel. I'm here to find the right people, and you may have to find some of the wrong people just to find the right people. So I get that. But while we're in GIMP, and it's called GIMP, GIMP. I would like to just show you some other stuff. So yesterday I was working on, what was I working on? Oh, a highlight, sort of like a highlight reel. Man, I should have put that word reel on it. Oh, I messed up. Reel, REEL. Um, yeah, that I messed up. So next, I got to do a highlight reel. So I'll be probably downloading some streams. I think the key word this week was nostalgia, as as a root word, and then a lot of nostalgic. There's so much going on with that vibe. So I actually made. I could play it real quick. I don't see. If I see anybody, the next time I get engagement in a chat, whether it's the chat or it's the poll, I'll actually try to play the video which correlates to what I made here. Again, this was like 2 minutes. I came in here and I thought through, just trying not to overthink it. Again, it's I'm not doing anything crazy, but you know what? Let's just play it now. I'll see, maybe if somebody is here, or somebody comes in, they'll have questions about that. But maybe it'll give me a break. I could drink some water real quick. So let me just play that real quick. Hope you like it. Today is day 15, 15th straight day of myself coming on here streaming. In many places, where you grow up determines how you operate. Like Kendrick Lamar, I went from just being a regular dude to a dad to Unk to OG. When I go play basketball, I'm considered OG, as if I'm out there throwing hook shots or something. Make the Pick says, I think that the 90s, 2000s internet felt more special, like nostalgic, right? Is the internet more impactful today from an information standpoint today than it is in the 90s? There's a lack of diversity. You have people that see the internet as social media, and that's very sad, because if social media is the internet, then all of your information is going to be confined. If you have children, or if you're going to have children, or if you engage with children, please be honest with them. That is my only request. I have never been more honest than after I had my children. I like when I build something for people to be impacted, and I actually believe that videos, whether it's modern. Cool, cool, cool. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. But yeah, so going back, I'm on the right scene though. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you caught that moment where this image was um a part of the initial, like, I don't know what to call it, but it was supposed to jump out. I did have a debate on whether to put it as dark or to use a different setting, which, you know, it came out how it came out. But as I like what I have here. I do probably want to add the word real. The challenge for me is that when you look at the phone. Sorry, when you look at a phone, what's up? Yeah, it's still good. The When you look at a phone, um, one, we're not gonna have as much control over when YouTube wants to. In fact, I'll just play this so you could see. Oh, you probably can't see. So because I'm just playing where I was just at, right? So because you have this content that's showing at the bottom, like while you're on a live stream, you know, I should just take note of that anyway, because where I'm positioning stuff on the screen, it's kind of taken away from that. But I think in my example, it's a short, right? So as far as a short, I don't think. Let me just see real quick. Yeah, so I'm looking at it in short mode. So let me just see on the camera. I don't know why I always go backwards. So you see how, like that space, I gotta get used to um the space that's there, you know. Interestingly enough, what I just observed though makes me feel like my sub goal should probably be at the top. It should be at the top. I think so. Let me just look at how I think that looks and if it's too much, because I don't even know if having a sub goal is like a super big deal. I think the problem that I was having as to why I got a sub goal, or felt the need to put it, is because people, when they meet you via swiping, they swipe into this, into the live, and when they swipe, what do they actually look at? And if they are going to engage, what kind of engagement are they going to do? So just so that you know that I have a goal, that I'm not here just, counting sheep. It might be helpful. It might be something that triggers you. If I do put it at the top, though, I'm not sure I'm gonna do it full mass. Um, yeah, it's gonna be some sort of a collision. But while we're here, we're testing things out. I don't see a problem with we're just trying to figure out what this is gonna look like. So let me see. So I have, I'm getting used to what I'm calling these things inside here. I believe it's called browser overlay. So if I were to, okay, well, browser overlay really is locked right now. So then if I unlock it, I could move that thing up. I'm gonna want to move everything else down, but not down too much, because what I observed is that this area is more of a it's good I don't have all these locked scenes. This area is more of, so I guess if I'm doing this type of stream, I'm gonna want my picture to be the smallest, right? My image to be the smallest. I think that makes the most sense, because it's kind of overpowering the stream, and people don't necessarily, want to see. I'm just assuming, unless somebody tells me strongly in the chat, nah, we want to see you. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think so. We still got one vote. One vote in the poll. So if you want to take the poll, that is a way for me to know what kind of vibes you got going tonight. Okay, so I'm sorry. I hate when I have to go screen to screen. Sometimes I wish I was just using one screen and doing one thing. So my goal was to get my camera. Okay, so I'll take my camera, unlock that, bring my camera down. My camera does not have to be full mass, which will give us an opportunity for sure to move the actual like subject. Let me make sure that this is centered. Wow, it let me move it, but now I can't choose it again. So that would be display capture. Okay, so I'm gonna update the transition and just center that horizontally. Okay, so you get enough of that. This stuff, I wonder if I just go like sub goal and I live with the darkness up there. Or I could bring, that might be too much, but we'll try it. We'll try to bring the image that I have at the bottom, which is also a royalty-free image that I've been reusing. It's funny, one time somebody came in the stream and was like, oops, sorry, when I press Control Z, it doesn't really do what I wanted to do. So this is the main thing I want to show. This in the back, which is probably locked. Okay, I see it. Okay, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, that's gonna keep jumping up on me if I don't lock it. So let me figure that out. So this one, transform, I should just not reset transform. I should fit, nope, I shouldn't fit it to screen either. Okay, I just need to, I'm sorry. I need to lock the disk so that, yeah, I need to lock that so that I could reach the stuff. But I don't know what all is behind it. Okay, so if I bring that white background up, then maybe I could just, yeah, use the leverage of, okay, kind of like that. There's like an empty space there. There is a white background. I think it's this color source. So if I bring that up, everything is layered properly. And then now I'm black at the bottom. I like that. I like that. What about you? Do you like that? I actually like that. And I'll just take a look on my phone real quick. Well, you've seen it here first. I don't think too many people will go into the process if they even do this type of stuff. We've been live now for 50 minutes. 50 minutes. We are working through some BTS, some behind the scenes. Okay. Sorry, I gotta just clip my audio. I just wanted to see how it looked. Let me spread some love. I can show some love. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Think I messed it up. Okay. So, yeah. That's nice. That's nice. Look, we did it. No, I really like that. So you know what? Without further ado, let me let's listen to some of the stuff that was spoken today in the chat with Biggs. I'll definitely probably um in the moment I was feeling a certain way about it. Not bad, not it's not a good or a bad thing, but I definitely had a placement for how I felt, what that content meant and what it was gonna do. Um, so uh, let me just give you my potential overview of what that means to me. So when I look at this, I'm probably going to put it on, I would say, a dead channel, but it was a channel that I started to capture stuff that wasn't super personal to me. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Yeah, maybe I am. Um, but that channel was supposed to represent stuff that I produce. I do want to produce content. I want to find other creators. I guess I have to take a step back to explain that. So I want to produce because I don't see myself as the talent. Just being honest, when I studied media, I was very comfortable being behind the scenes, but I also there's just an energy that like I gravitated to the creative process that goes on behind the scenes and the psyche of the talent. I didn't really care for it so much, right? It's just like a personality thing, based on, in my opinion. So I didn't care for the psyche behind being a talent, and till this day, I'm forcing this through, but I I would prefer to continue to grow and exercise the skills of the things that I'm showing on BTS. And if you want to kind of ride with me along that journey, that's amazing. That's totally fine. But what you will start to see is a shift. I'll always maintain my presence for people who want to reach me directly and want that back and forth, because that'll help me to grow my art, my creative energy. But I think that I'm better placed with being a producer. So I had a channel. The channel's called Chasing Apollo, and I had started to make, I guess, what you were referred to as a podcast. I didn't know what it was yet, but it was me and what we call Mr. Biggs, which is the same friend that I was talking about, the one that I want to just show you a little bit. Hey, if you just joined the stream, uh, you know, feel free, throw something in the chat. I'm following the chat. Let me get back to that actually. I'm following the chat. Take the poll if you feel like it. If not, that's okay. It's just a behind the scenes talk about how I'm growing the stream. This is my 19th straight day. I chose to do this on the weekend. The weekend definitely presents some different energy. So there's no, you want to stay and chill. That's totally fine. If you want to subscribe, totally appreciate it. You can see we have a goal of 150. Um, we're gonna see if we could do that within, within the next week or two. That'll really mean a lot, so that we can get a critical mass of people when we do go live. Don't know how many days I'm going, but we'll see. Thanks for joining the stream either way. Um, and I'll just, continue what I was talking about. So, what was I talking about? Yeah, so I want to show the thing from a talk that I had with Biggs today. And I don't know where to put it yet. This is my first time watching it. So I don't know where to put it. I don't know how to feel about it yet, but it was definitely a good talk. We haven't done this in a long time, so let's just see where this goes. The funny part is the first. Let me just cue this up. Okay. So the first X amount of time, I don't know if it was 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and I do want to chop this up. I had oh no. Shadow Black joins. Shadow Black joins the chat. He is back. Shadow Black, since you You got identity issues because I call you Mr. Biggs when I refer to this type of content. Do you mind me playing some of the conversation that we were having earlier? I guess I could formally ask you now. Just throw something in the chat. It looks like we got 2 votes on the poll. One is, or 50% says I'm outside, 50% says I'm full unk status. We've been streaming now for 56 minutes. It's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I've been showing stuff, going through my thought process of how I'm going to improve the stream. All right, Shadow Black says he doesn't mind it. So what I want to do is, I'm gonna say be respectful. But I'll just play it like this through the media player. I don't think I have to like add it full mass. I'll just get a feel for it. Um, Let me know, Shadow Black, since you are hanging out. Let me know if you want it bigger or if you want it to stop, or just tell me. You got the full control. Okay, let me just turn on the desktop audio. All right.
You know, and there's other days where it does nothing for me. And like I said, I'm upstairs in my house. I got an upstairs, downstairs. Sometimes when I take that stairs, it give me an energy boost. And I just
Ball up! Man got an upstairs and a downstairs. Look at that. My man came from a railroad apartment with a bedroom. Hold on, let me just see if I get this door closed because I got a barker over here. Let me just mute because I'm gonna just be a little loud because I got a upstairs and a downstairs too. I'm just here for the soul, brother. Go forward. Okay. All right, sorry, I'm back. I'm trying to get this door closed.
be up in my room just looking at the ceiling. So I scroll through on the phone.
No, I had it on mute.
Yeah. So, you know, sometimes I could just be laying down, I'll pop right up. It'd be 3 o'clock in the morning, like, man, go back to sleep. But I can't.
So just like we at some point we do discover. So don't so I know that there's not many folks in here right now, but I'm talking through this as if I'm gonna put up a replay of this because we don't know where this is gonna go. Right now, I don't know that I'm muted, so this is a really fun kink for me that like I got to. I'm watching me just go through something. There's this experience that I had in college where we would one of the courses I had we would watch. I
Vision board.
studied a little bit of media, and we would watch things, and we would watch things without sound.
Yeah.
We would listen to things without seeing, and we were really studying and learning about the marriage between visual, video, and audio, AV, audio, video. So it's very funny to watch this because
Yeah.
I see my passion. I see the passion, but it is a big mistake. And could you imagine, like, if this is the
Right.
best line that I'm gonna spit? It is so funny, and I'm hearing Mr. Biggs go back and forth, but it's because I'm not acclimated to the tools yet, and the tools of just knowing what's important. So like as I'm cluttering up a lot of the OBS because I'm bringing all these things in and not realizing like what's my go-to, I all this clutter is causing me to not know like what's the most important thing that I'm looking at. So now, being aware of my mic, I might have to go to the extent to make or find some plugin that has,
Right.
a mic on, like a big light that tells me, yo, the mic is on, because it's not enough the way that this is organized, and I'm trying to do too much, and I only have 2 screens. I don't want more than 2 screens, right? So, but yeah, this is Biggs is like doing ad libs at this point. But
Right. That's it.
I want to see the
Are you
moment.
serious?
Yeah, are you serious? That's it. Now look at, and he hears me, so it's, but you don't hear me. Man, I could talk. That's funny.
What happened?
I've been
What
talking
happened?
this whole time and I ain't been on mic.
Are you serious?
I I'm pretty serious, dude. I think we gotta chop that up. Your reaction look like a reaction, like a popular reaction video, like meme. Look at that, man. That was golden. That was golden, man. It's-
What happened?
I've been
What
talking
happened?
this whole time and I ain't been on mic. Hit him with the
Are you serious?
I I'm pretty serious that that's what that is, but
Yo,
we'll see. We'll
yo,
see
that
on the
was
back
good,
burner.
man.
We alright.
Yo, you know
You
what? We
forced me
still
to.
working out the kinks.
I
I
can't
can't.
watch
Nah,
this
I ain't working out no
immediately now.
kinks. What it is?
Alright, so the reason why I cut it off is because I got this creative urge to already do what I was just saying and figure out. Um, I gotta put this in the program that I use to edit. We could watch it from there the same way. I could actually speed it up a little bit. Hopefully, we could catch the sound. Anyone who's here, anyone who's watching this, I'm actually, this is like day 2. I don't know if I got sleep or whatever it is, but I'm actually enjoying the stream. I'm enjoying being here. So watch out, you know. Watch out. When it get dangerous, when you start enjoying it and it become easy, watch out. All right. So, and again, this is BTS. I gotta get a bigger, like a BTS, or maybe not have BTS as maybe I gotta put behind the scenes. Right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put behind the scenes next to where my yeah, but if I put it there, now I gotta put it up in this space right here. I gotta put it up in this space. So the program I'm using is called Shotcut. Uh, it's an excellent program, excellent editing program. I've used these tools because they're free. First and foremost, as a Linux user, let me get a folder for this. I am a little I'm still learning how to do some of this stuff. Not learning how to do anything in the program, but I'm learning how to carry the stream at the same time. Let's just call this Biggs Convo and just put a date on it. Yeah, I said it the other night, but I think one of the when you start, you know, really getting bigger and you could hire people, I think one of the early things that you're gonna end up doing is getting the person that you hire to clean the mess that you created. Um, pretty sure about that. All right, so I created a folder. Now let's just call it Biggs Talk. Okay. And it's automatic. So then all I have to do is go to the video and I could just I could either drag the video into login or so let's just drag it into the editing screen because I know I'm gonna be working with it. Alright, so I set this to player, and as I said,
You
We
know,
could
and
see
there's
it
other
similar,
days where
but
it
now
does
I could
nothing
do
for me. I
something
said I'm
like,
upstairs in my house. I got upstairs, downstairs. Sometimes I take that stairs to give me an energy boost, and I just be up in my room just looking at the ceiling. So I scroll through on the phone.
man, you have a good voice
Yeah, yeah.
because when I
So
talk,
you know, sometimes I can just be laying down, I pop right
I
up
don't
every 3 o'clock in the morning.
necessarily
Like, man, go back
hear
to
it
sleep,
the
but
same way.
I can't.
Oh wow. I have a flashback video from April in here I just saw. All right, let's get to the point where it's crazy that I'm talking. So we're gonna get a full count on how long I was talking before I noticed. Total rookie mistake. Like total rookie mistake. All right, let me close out this soundboard. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what that is. We'll see in the background.
All right. Yep. Yep. Put your head down. Put your head down. You should be ashamed of yourself, sir. Yes. Let me just. I had mentioned it. So while I'm here, and sorry if you can't see, I just want to put behind. Should I put behind the scenes? I'm not gonna do that right now. I'll just leave it as is. We'll keep the stream up as such and we'll move forward. So let me just check on whether or not there's been any movement. I do like to update the stream goal. It's not automated yet. There is movement. There's a 131, so congratulations. We've been working on we need a celebratory stinger video that I show when I'm happy and I see, some happiness comes. So let's I guess I'll just show you that what I'm doing. So I have on the screen now it's just an HTML file which is housing the sub goal thing, which I found it pretty easy just to do it in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Well, at this point, it's just HTML and CSS. So when I save this, okay, so that's saved. So we're at 131. Now, if I go back to OBS, all I got to do is refresh the browser overlay, which is the source that I have connected, and it's just loading that page. So when I refresh that, bam, we get a 131. So kudos, I know how to use one tool. That is what's up. So all right, we'll get back to this. I do want to see how upset, embarrassed, or any of the words that we could use for this moment. And again, to look at like Big's reaction was like amazing. It was
What
spot
happened?
on. I've been
What
talking
happened?
this whole time and I ain't been on mic.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty serious that that's what that is, but we'll see. We'll see on the back burner.
No. You know what? We still got the kinks. I can't.
No, I ain't working on no kinks. What it is I'm doing too much, and that's okay because even within my creativity, I'll find a way to make that into content.
Okay, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, what I was saying is when you called the other night after the stream, it was evidence to me of the energy that's going in two different directions because I've been struggling definitely around like day 14, 15, where
I found the groove to prepare. I found the evidence that tells me that this makes sense to what I'm doing to prepare. But now that I'm prepping for the stream, there's more time involved. So I'm losing a lot of time and I'm trying to navigate around family activities, father-husband activities, and this new thing, which really is only a thing for me. I can't drag everyone else into, what that is. So it's really only a thing for me. So when you called, it was like one of the signals, like the Batman signal to know, like, okay, this is great. This is a great way to understand. And it was a tough stream for me because, like I said, I didn't know where it was going. But I think of recent, I think it's okay. I think that's totally fine. I feel like I'm sandboxing. Tell little man to be loud. But yeah, I feel like I'm sandboxing. This what this channel is. I've had interesting questions that I want to address, but I don't know where and when's the right time, the right forum to address them. As far as like, why are you putting this type of content on this channel and all of that? Like all of that don't matter to you, bro. 0% of 0 is 0.
Maybe you need to have a Q&A.
Yeah, but see the problem with the problem with any kind of content that I'm gonna do outside of the stream is how are you gonna guarantee that people see it? So the amount of effort that you're putting in, and I learned this from doing content prior by putting up videos and putting up shorts. The
That's a good
videos that I would
point. I
invest the
was
most
saying
time
that a little bit earlier.
with any kind of content that I'm gonna do outside of a stream is how are you gonna guarantee that people see it? So the amount of effort that you're putting in, and I learned this from doing content prior by putting up videos and putting up shorts. Like the videos that I would invest the most time into, I'd get like less than 10 views, right? And it's just
Right.
the reality. You're fighting, going back to that same conversation, you're fighting the algorithm. But I don't want to fight the algorithm per se. I actually don't even want to I don't want to appease the algorithm. I don't want to fight it. I think that I want to understand it so that when I want to make a choice to, like you said, we should do a Q&A. That's totally fine. But as I'm on this journey, I'm not having to prove to myself anymore that I could be consistent, that I could come on here, that I'm ashamed of something, that I can't just use my voice. That is easy. What's hard is when you're on there and you're not getting back the vibrations that you want. Like one night, I didn't do a poll, right? So I'm
Right.
thinking, oh, the poll is just some low hanging fruit. No, the poll is content. Because if people
Right.
engage with the poll, then you have something to talk about, and it puts those organic breaks into.
Yeah, so just, I think this is, I mean, it's me talking, but if I close my eyes and I even, I don't really hear my voice, the way when you say it, you don't hear your own voice. But I think that I think it's reality what I'm saying. And this kind of correlates to what I was thinking about with the Creators Anonymous. And this is not my first time thinking about creators needing tools, right? I was working on a tool I called Creators Platform Pro, which was a technology product to help creators with the marketing aspect that where this platform falls short on, right? And I looked at it as a they fall short, but the reality is there's not much in it for them. I think I was looking at it the wrong way. There is not much in it for this platform to necessarily grow, help you to grow by expanding all these marketing tools. This repository, they already have enough people that are getting views and getting hit, right? So that engagement is enough to allow for the advertising aspect, and then the things just keep going. So the way I was looking at it is I want to talk to the person and say, hey, you could post on social media and say, come to my YouTube page. But your YouTube pages are very, very simple. There isn't much really like marketing, like from a landing page value, there isn't much there. So I was working on a tool that helps you to grow your give you a promotional advantage outside of YouTube, with the goal of creating a funnel to get people to come into your page. Because in my assessment, my evaluation of the pain point that I was trying to solve, I felt like we create content and we have links that we get a link, you create a video, you have a link of the video, share, and I hope that word gets improved over the years. But you create content, you get a link. The link has power, obviously. The point of it being a link is so that you can share that link with someone. Many of us, you would think we have someone to share this link with. Well, we do, but it's not a fair concept anymore. And I'm not sure that it ever was, because when you say you go to Facebook, right? So I'm Unc Status, so you would think that I've collected hundreds to potentially thousands of Facebook friends over the years, which is a true thing. I can go make the best video that I've ever made, um, put that thing on YouTube, post the link, and presentation wise, make it look good, put it on Facebook, and the response is, you might get a like or two, but just to get somebody to click that link, it shouldn't be that hard. It should not be that hard. And I don't want to bring up whether there's like a support thing, but it shouldn't be that hard. So my product was for people to stop stressing the aspect of, the groups of people that want to or need to support, you think need to support you from the social media perspective. Grow your content from making it easy for people to grow their content outside of their promotional content, things that are promoting their content on this platform, but having that space as an intermediary, as a website, a website that gets like auto generated and you can manage and it syncs to your data. So I was working on a tool like that because I keep coming across the same point. How does the small creator find a way, find a niche, and grow? And there's so much information, let alone the tools that you have to engage with. I'm not gonna say I don't think I'm struggling, but for somebody as technically inclined, as handy as I am, I can only imagine for somebody that was not technically inclined. I could only imagine what it is for them, because it must be a struggle. Let me push through this because I do want to release this as an actual product. What you're doing to me is like it's everything, everything. Man, we should have just went live with this. This would have been crazy, but yeah,
This would have been it. Like that's what I'm saying. Even something like this. But even going back to the poll, I definitely was in the Atari era. Like
yeah,
I was like, I looked at it, I was like, I don't like. You ever something, but
going
instead
back.
of putting
Okay.
a different perspective, you look at it different. And when you put the numbers up there in the poll, I'm looking like, damn, that was around this time and this decade. And
Yeah.
when I clicked on it, I was like 40%. Like, who is the target audience we're talking to? Like,
Well, that's the thing. Not to, I don't, are you done with your point? I don't want to cut you off.
yeah, go ahead.
I don't
No,
want
you good. I'm
I
done.
don't want to nori up the video. But yeah,
Fat Joey out.
y'all, is he out there doing that too? Yo, it's a New York City thing, yo. They can't just. I think I learned that. Like, just cut people off, get your point across. It'd be all good. But yeah, no, I hear you. But there's a learning that comes from people, and I learned this after over a week of streaming. I thought about who's coming in, and I had like some early people who did the subscribe, and I thought to myself, if I'm on the other side, what is going to cause me to subscribe to somebody, right? So I'm like, okay, you don't really get the immediate data to know who you're talking to, so you got to engage with them. It turns out that there's a lot of young people. These people are on their first phone. They're on there and they're swiping. So there's a split audience between like one of my first major lessons. Yeah, I don't know how much I want to. Let me just go. We're talking about similar to the things that I was saying on here, just about being a small streamer. I really want to. This was more of a private conversation about that. I don't want to. I don't really know where I'm going with that. So I do want to watch the video or listen to it myself first before I release this. So I'm just
Activity
gonna
is
skip
that
around and see
the
what
algorithm has observed people's engagement surrounding negativity. So the algorithm is about engagement. So
and I was hitting that point earlier. I
it's
mean,
going. This
I
is what's going to
think
trigger people
I
to
need
click,
to.
watch, comment, view, like, and that's really the fight. So for me, I mean, it's not that I'm not bringing the church. I'm not trying to come on and bring the church, but
Yeah, I hope people don't think that I can't say church either, because algorithm favors the negativity. It's that the algorithm has observed people's engagement surrounding negativity. So the algorithm is about engagement. So it's going to say, oh, this is what's going to trigger people to click, watch, comment, view, like, and that's really the fight. So for me, I mean, it's not that I'm not bringing the church. I'm not trying to come
Yeah.
on and bring the church, but at the same time, I have my morals of who I am as a person, and I am standing on that integrity. I don't have to break from that integrity, you know. So that's my basis. So, but when I get on and I'm on a stream, so problem one, I'm in vertical format. So in vertical format, you got to be very creative with what you're doing on the screen. People go after teenagers, come on, like, this is what you see when you fight. So you imagine being Speaking of that
or
vertical
18, you fight,
format,
you see,
we on that
there we go.
vertical format right now, and I observed something that I was telling my wife earlier. I watched there's a YouTuber that I was so I went to the from the desktop from a browser. I went to like I was looking for I think I was looking for my sister's channel, and so I went to see who I'm following, and they have whoever is live. They have the little like live signal, the red dot, and I clicked on a live, and then when I clicked on it, the person wasn't live anymore. But what it made me do was I observed that the person had 5 or 6 lives within the last 6 hours, and I was looking at the numbers, not numbers like I obviously I don't know the fluctuation, but I had to wonder why, and they weren't like an hour. It wasn't like, oh, like I was having software problems where I didn't know that I had to change the setting to disable the stream from stopping in 1 hour. It was like one was 30, one was 40 something, and they were pretty like routine. Now, could the person have taken a break? Sure, the person definitely could have taken a break, but what I believe is they understand some sort of signal as to when these numbers are starting to dip. The content's the same. The engagement must be starting to dip, and then they trigger themselves to say, you know what, we got to restart this live. So like just like right now, if I go ahead and restart this live, I might, because of the time, I might be able to get the same amount of views, if not more, in a shorter period. Why? Just because the time of who's on here and how they're matching people, you may be first in line to be matched, right? So it's an easy conclusion for me to draw that people are doing this. They're dependent on getting the influx of people, and then at some point you're no longer getting you're not getting sent views, which is exactly why I'm doing a BTS stream in vertical format. And now that I got the scene better, I'm more happy and comfortable with the way the scene looks like. I actually think that this isn't the worst BTS experience. So this is the first time, and I did this live, so do it live. This was cool. But we'll just listen to a little bit more of
Look,
this,
y'all see,
and
get
then
out of here. They just gonna swipe away. So
I'll
I
jump.
learned,
I'm
it's a swipe.
coming
So
up
I
on an
learned right
hour
away.
and 30.
I need to put stuff on the screen. I need to create a poll. I need to make sure that people are either comfortable or get it
Away without me saying it, because I could be mid conversation as I veer off 2 generations about people are giving feedback. Comments are not just like feedback anymore,
Yeah.
right? That's like the original version. Comments are now just an engagement metric.
So on the background side, comments tell people like how engaged people are. What they were
Yeah.
engaging in, and this is where you open the door for the troll city. What they were engaging in doesn't really matter, right? It can, we could use it against you, but doesn't
Right.
really matter. What matters is that you engage. So me as a small streamer that's promoting positive content,
Right.
I can't, not that I don't understand, but what I do understand is that it is going to be a battle to get on the same level as other people, because it's just not, it's not something that is desired, right? So I'm comfortable
Right.
being
Right.
in the if there are 90% of the streams you swipe on are neutral or spewing negative, I'm comfortable being on a positive. Yeah, it just dawned on me. I have a playlist. Let me just see what the official name of the playlist is. But I'm super impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually super impressed at having a conversation. I mean, it took a while, but I'm super impressed with having a conversation on here and it coming out. This is how I think I sound. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. My playlist is called the Reboot Builds, Interviews, and Lives. This is more of a build, and so I need to figure out what's up, buddy. No, they're not on. I'm on live right now. Um, but yeah, I think I already have the placement, the foundation of what this is, and this is a build, right? This is we're just building smoke. This I don't even think matches the energy of the podcast that we were doing. Um, it could, but this is a build, and I really like this, and it's so easy. It's such low hanging fruit. I hope that in the next few weeks, I actually might have a commitment from a friend who I've been trying to get on to do a build with. Um, he's somewhat committed to 3 week in 3 weeks, so I got to follow up with that. But if I can nail down like what this is, I think this will help me. It'll definitely help because I'm gonna put it up as a wide format, but it's so easy to do. And it came out better than I would think. So when I say that, I didn't really have a thought because what we were talking about was so impactful. Give me 3 minutes and then you're good. What we were talking about was so impactful that I asked, hey, can we throw this? And Biggs is always willing, which I love him for that. So, but the other thing is, it's easy to be willing to do that because I'm doing a lot of the controls and all of that. So when I could share that stuff at some point, that would be super awesome. But yeah, so I am I am going to hold on. Yeah, so I'm gonna close this thing out. I Tonight was eventful, successful. I guess I'll have to delete some of the streams. Sorry if anyone got the notification. And I wasn't on, but I'll have to delete some of those streams. I think for a Saturday night, I think this was the right move. BTS is cool. I'll next time I'll be more prepared within BTS as far as what BTS like what I want to do. I think I'm kind of winging it. I did know that I had this build that I wanted to talk about or talk through. Um, I wanted to go through some old shorts and just follow up on some of the editing and look at the storyline as to what I've been building for some time. But yeah, so we'll improve. I think we keep getting 1% better. We have a good week coming up. I'm going to figure out whether I could lock in time, and what that'll mean. What I think what will improve is being able to at an earlier time, set the live for a certain time, and then come on and do the live. I like the creators or streamers. I think they're more of creators on YouTube, but the people who do live streams, I like the ones that I'm able to, say notify, tell YouTube to notify me. So I think that'll be helpful. I think once you started, the chat is going, so I could go back and forth. So if I could imagine if I have it at least set, 12 hours before, it's very clear. It's something I could send out and share, something you could send out and share. So that'll be, I think this week, that's one of my goals is to be better prepared. Um, Maybe have a place where we can, well, I guess that page would, you would know what we're talking about. So my preparation, the things that I went through on this stream, you would be able to see what the topic is, what kind of vibe I'm on, and hopefully I don't have any energy problems. This week, it will still be in Black History Month by the end of the week. I guess around next week, Saturday, will be the last day of Black History Month. So, I think we got to figure out how to bring some of that good energy. Maybe I'll have a segment or some representation on the stream a few days this week, since we have not been able to do that as of yet, because I've been struggling through. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm gonna close out the stream. Sorry. At least I know not to cough. Obviously, my voice is killing me right now. I'm gonna close out the stream. Thank you. This is crazy that my voice sounds like this at this point. I also got a tear coming down my eye, if you can see. This is real life. I'm a real streamer. We gonna do this. Don't be a sucker for love. Don't be. No, peace. Thank you. Today is day 15. 15th straight day of myself coming on here streaming. In many places, where you grow up determines how you operate. Like Kendrick Lamar. I went from just being a regular dude to a dad to Unk to OG. When I go play basketball, I'm considered OG, as if I'm out there throwing hook shots or something. Make the Pick says, I think that the 90s, 2000s internet felt more special, like nostalgic, right? Is the internet more impactful today from an information standpoint today than it is in the 90s? There's a lack of diversity. You have people that see the internet as social media, and that's very sad, because if social media is the internet, then all of your information is going to be confined. If you have children, or if you're going to have children, or if you engage with children, please be honest with them. That is my only request. I have never been more honest than after I had my children. I like when I build something for people to be impacted, and I actually believe that videos, whether it's